And for anybody that's battling with schizophrenia or hearing voices, me, I wouldn't say it's schizophrenia. I look at things different. It's more so spiritual warfare and subconscious programming. You got to understand this is America where they make a lot of money off of pharmaceuticals. As easy as they create these pharmaceuticals with these cheap chemicals, they could be doing it with natural products and creating medicine that will heal using natural products, but they just choose not to because the pharmaceuticals are cheaper and more addictive. So yeah, all those chemicals that these medicines, trust me. But yeah, it's just pretty much America is in the business of death. So that's pretty much what that is. But there will be voices. That's why I said God had me walk down the street, and the whole time all I heard was, "You're gonna die. Just you about to get jumped." This, that, and the third. Cause like your whole life, once you decide to go to Jesus and break free from the enemy, He will try anything to pull you back, and He will lie to you. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar and will try every trick in the book. The devil has gotten to a point so much to where the devil will convince me. I have fasted sometimes for God and have been smoking FTs and vapes while I was fasting. I have been fasting for God sometimes and drink liquor because I said, all right, I'm not going to eat, but I'm still drinking smoke. And God and the devil convinced me that God was okay with that. That's how much the devil is a liar. The devil is such a liar that God will tell you. And this is actually because I want to just read some of this while I say this, because this is so important that people know this. And I learned some of the tricks of the enemy. Man, listen. I'll talk about that another time when I actually get at that point in my life. I'll talk about that. But when you read Psalms, right, God tells us, right, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Most people don't make it to the secret place of God because they don't read their Bible. The secret place is with God because it also says, hold on, where does this say? Okay, listen, and this is why I'm telling you, God is not in this world. You get what I'm saying? They say the devil is in control of the world. God is in this Bible. God is in this Bible. And once you start reading this Bible, you are protected because it's the knowledge that protects you. Because it says, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And this is what the thing is. The snare of the fowler is loud. If you think about a fowler in the industry is somebody who will maybe make different noises and stuff on cartoons in the background, like a real person that makes noises for sound effects, right? So you have the snare of the fowler. A snare, you think of like a laugh. So, he will deliver you from not only the snickering of these demons that choose to make noises and distract you. Amen. You see kind of what's going on if you pay attention, because you see how I said, I think I need to stop talking because of that noise in the background. That's the trick of the devil right there, to try to overshadow what you're saying, because it when the spirits start working, then it said it'll deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And noisome means not loud. I thought it meant noisy before, which is confusing, but it's noisome pestilence, which is the silent plague or disease. Pestilence is a plague, disease, or epidemic. So he will deliver you from that which is loud, but that which is also silent. And then when you get into noisome pestilence, that's mental illness right there. It's a silent disease that is killing a lot of people. And then he says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, under his wings shalt thou trust. You have to trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So what he's saying is, the thing that's going to protect you is not a big spiritual like body and things like that. It's the truth of God. It's his word that is what actually protects you. So that's what it means by so that's what I'm saying as far as like being in a secret place, and most people don't even make it into that place. You know what I'm saying? And it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So the thing is, people will say things like, oh, you should fear this and fear that, but they don't even realize that it's like, how do I put it? The whole point of Christianity is to understand that with God, nothing can touch you, nothing can hurt you, nothing can come against you. Not man, not voodoo, not Santeria, not witchcraft, not none of that, because they're all praying to demons. I just found out that in voodoo, they'll be praying to a demon, and they'll think that and what you see in these cards and these things is a person, right? And you'll think it's this big demon energy human, and the whole time it'll be a dog. It's a lot of demons in the voodoo world that are dogs, and you'll see that being shown in culture if you start looking more into like they practices and the sculptures and what they show and things like that. A lot of these people are praying to animals, and God actually showed me that in my grandma's house years ago, and I didn't understand it at first, and it was like God was telling me about people praying to their ancestors, and it was like some of their ancestors are not even human, bruh. And God showed me, and I didn't understand it. It was like it looked like a squirrel type thing, and it had like a head wrap on, but it was not a regular head wrap. It was pig intestine. It was a pig intestine head wrap, and it was an animal. And that was something that scarred me, and it's crazy how it come full circle, and I see it now of what that actually means. They literally are worshiping animals. And so these animals, that's why it could be a lot of things like misfires, like you'll do a spell and somebody die, or most even with voodoo, like you do something and you know what I'm saying, like a lot of things happen because these are animals that people are praying to, and because they praying to these animals, it's no mercy, it's no conscience, it's no common sense, it's no none of that. Like it's just purely you go to them, speak to them, and they'll, you know, it's just transactional. Like if you throw a treat and then the dog, or throw a bone and the dog goes and gets it and brings it back to you. That's basically what's going on in the spiritual realm. You taking a bone or a frisbee, you know what I'm saying, or a ball, and it's like, it's about what you use. So some people use bones, some people use balls, some people use frisbees, some people use whatever, different chew toys, and the dog will come and bring it back. You know, and that's because you got to think, when Satan came and spoke to Adam and Eve, or spoke to Eve in the garden, he showed himself as an animal. You know, so you got to think about it. He showed himself as an animal. He was a snake that then was put on his belly. And I always look at a lizard and say, wow, that's like, wouldn't the devil turn into a lizard? But it's just crazy how it all works out. And then there go that white van energy again, you know? So it's like we pretty much getting rid of all of that fear of people who choose to intimidate through dark forces. And the thing that I realized too is that these people that are doing these dark things, that's why I said you always got to speak the truth, because they could be wanting to get out. It's a lot of people that are in the industry and that sell their soul and that are doing voodoo and stuff. Specifically, I said that because that's just what I was battling with. The people that do that will be wanting to break free, because it's like, you got to think, in deep cultures they'll do things like, and I said before, give their babies spiritual baths and welcome the deities into their babies, offer their babies up as the young kids in temples to the deities. It's a whole bunch of sacrifices that go on when they're young, to where they're born into things like Santeria and voodoo and things like that, to where they don't know no other way out, and they see these Christians and they try to battle with Christians, but they lose, and then they say, dang, I want to be a Christian, but they don't have no support. That's why you can't be judgmental, you can't be none of those things, because these people are coming to you in a very secret way of saying like, hey, and that's what I seen, like even with the girl, like I know she do voodoo. You know what I'm saying? She ain't want to say that. She's talking about she don't do Santeria. Oh, cause you do voodoo, and I can see. I know what's going on. So I'm like, okay, she don't want to do it. She hint that, oh, she don't want to be gay. She don't want to be this way, but her family, and that's what you know. And then you get praised, and it's what you used to, and the devil will trick you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to a point where I said, shoot, I got all this stuff going on. When she first started doing it, I said, man, you know how easy it'd be for me to just 1, 2, 3 and try to make some stuff shake. But I said, no, I'm not doing that, because the devil will rob you, and you will think that you're getting all this money, and then you end up in somebody's back room, freaking, you know what I'm saying, doing some crazy stuff. Like with me, I'm thinking I'm winning, I'm about to do all this. I didn't even know I was attractive. I was doing the you know what I'm saying, just pills, alcohol, lust, things like that, and insecure, letting somebody who can't fight threaten me, and being afraid of somebody who I know can't fight, who at home scared of me, and that's why I didn't even realize the whole time they making friends with all my friends and using my name to get popularity in Cincinnati, because they grew up in Indian Hill their whole life. They never was in the city. The only time they seen the city was Walnut Hills, and they didn't even really talk to people like that. They was just a shy person in the back. So they go and they try to act like they all popular. Their boyfriend was in Virginia, so she was cool in Virginia using her boyfriend name, and then she started being friends with all my friends, because I was friends with the mixed girls and stuff, you know what I'm saying, in Cincinnati, and the girls liked me, so they like, oh, this who Kiera talked to and this and that, so they trying to get revenge on me. Everybody in the circle liked me, and she ain't never really had nobody show her attention like that, because she was always like a black girl, with like curly hair at a white school, so she was white enough, but and that's just crazy. So I just had to see past that, because it had me just feeling like I was like I didn't realize how deep in I was and how unhappy I was, you know what I'm saying, when whole time it was just empty, and now that I look back, logic would have told me that obviously that person was not my friend, but on top of that, I would have not cared about that situation, because I'm not saying that to talk down on her or nothing, or be shady or gossip. It's more so the fact of it happened in my life, and they'll know your character and know you don't want to gossip, and that's why they'll do it, because they'll try to make you be innocent and be like, you shouldn't be talking like that. That's the trick of the devil. And then they'll be evil behind closed doors. They'll be like, oh no, you're good. I didn't say I was good. I'm evil. So that's pretty much, you got to learn the tricks of the devil. And this one, God helped me out because I was diligent, and because I did give my life to him and got baptized. He helped me, and he showed me in signs that said, hey, she calls herself a trick. It's a trick of the devil. That's all she posts about. I'm a trick. I'm the biggest trick. I'm the biggest trick. The biggest trick of the devil. It's to have somebody that is deeply demonic post 1 or 2 things about God and then try to take your soul. The deepest trick of the devil is to have a lesbian come to you and say, we're going to have a God-centered Christian relationship. And it's against the Bible. One of the deepest tricks of God is to have somebody who shows their naked body, say that it's for cultural reasons, when it's really just perversion, lust, and Jezebel. The oldest trick in the Bible. I can't wait to really listen to what I said about Jezebel. That was a good one. But yeah, and I'm gonna listen back on these recordings for myself, so I could say in the future when another trap is about to take place, I say, no, I'm not falling for that one. But you gotta leave yourself open, because there's a lot of people who want to leave that life, and they think that, because don't get me wrong, like the devil does do stuff. Like if you throw that bone, that devil is gonna bring that bone back every time. The devil is always gonna bring back that bone. It's not one time that the devil won't bring it back, unless the devil's owner calls him back. Now imagine this is what God is. So imagine God is a dog. No, imagine the devil is a dog, right? And you come and you throw a bone, right? So the bone is the one that's gonna make the dog want to come the most, because it has the smell of meat because of the marrow, and because so dogs really like bones. That's one of the dog's favorite things. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people use bones. They don't even know what they're doing. They think that it's this, that, and the third. Think of it like that. So you throw the bone out, and the dog is going to grab the bone, right? And before the dog could grab the bone, you got God that comes in with a dog whistle, a dog whisperer, which is God. The dog whisperer comes, and the dog's owner, because God created the devil, comes and says, "Hey, get over here, and calls that dog by name." Now, imagine you don't know the dog's name, right? Imagine you don't know it's the devil. You don't know the dog's name. So imagine, because if it was your dog might not even listen to God. You know what I'm saying? But it's not your dog. It's somebody else's dog. So imagine you see some stranger's dog, and you just been feeding this stranger's dog some bones and balls and things, but you don't even know the dog's name. Y'all think y'all know these demons' names. In each language, it's a different name for that demon. And they try to become as pure as possible. They want to be as pure as possible to this certain thing, so they could get to this God, and as secret as possible, so they could call on these deities. But really, it's just these dogs that they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Dogs that they only have access to. So when God comes in, God will, you know what I'm saying? When God comes in, God will have his dog whistle and say, "Hey, dog, get over here." And the dog will run and not bring you back your bone. You see what I'm saying? And then God will do something like put that dog in a leash, or put that dog in a cage. That's what God will do, put that dog in a cage. When you bind something up, when you bind it up and you cast that down, that's what you're doing, is you putting that dog in a cage. So these people who've been raised in Haitian voodoo and Santeria and things like that, these people are afraid to lead that, because they have seen things like people's body get contorted, or you know what I'm saying, maybe people transform into like things that are not even humanly possible. Maybe seen people not be sick. Maybe seen people get a lot of money. Of course they're gonna get money, because God, if you got bread and bread, right? The money is the devil's bread. The Bible is the word of God is God's bread. You know what I'm saying? Daily bread. Except that God's bread is going to protect you and teach you and clean your spirit and this and that. Now the devil's bread, it has no rules, no doctrine. There's no doctrine established for the devil's bread, other than things that can be changed, such as legislation. But that's it. Now, when it comes to God's bread, you can translate it, but you cannot change it. As soon as I said God's bread, my Bible scripture came up. Thanks to a generous donor, all new recurring gifts this month will be matched up to $250,000. Come on now, what y'all talking about? What are we talking about? And that's God's bread right there. So with God, there is money. As soon as I said that, I got that notification on my Bible thing. I never got anything about donors. Somebody just donated to the Bible app. And now when you donate to the Bible app, if you give them $10, they'll give another 10. So that's $20 donated in your name. And if anything up to $250,000, if you donate 250,000, that means that's 500,000 donated to this Bible app in your name and to whatever things they do. So that is God, and God uses money for things like that with bread. People who, and then the devil will just take that 250,000 and say, okay, well, I'm gonna donate to this church, but I gotta save some because I won't get any more. You see what I'm saying? And if you want to think about that, like, it's just so real. And the only thing about it is that you feel like, oh, it's overwhelming when you choose to do good, but I can't do anything other than good, because that other persona is canceled. And God has showed me so much that if I go on the other side, I'm willingly serving the devil at that point. We don't have time to play with the other side. You can't even play with the other side, because the games that they played are not the games. Like the games on the other side with the devil, you got to think like nobody wins. It's a death match. They play Hunger Games. They play in the Hunger Games. You want to play games with the devil, you might die. If you don't, And here's the thing: if you come out alive by playing the Hunger Games with the devil, everybody you love is going. You know what I'm saying? So it's either you die or the people you love, and that's the only way out of it when you choose to play that game. And death is not always physical. There are things inside of people that can die. Things will not be the same. And here's what's even crazier: they love for God, they fight for God can die by you choosing to go on the other side, because you got a family like the Jackson family, right? Who, you know what I'm saying, started up talking about God, and whatever. And I know the devil that got Michael, it was a big one. The one that was trying to get me is the same devil that got Michael. The one that talks about billions and hundreds of millions, that's the same devil that got Michael. The one that you go in black and you leave white. The one where you go through things in front of people's face and they don't even know you're going through it. Where you a token black that leaves and you're not even black anymore. That's that devil right there. The devil that says, come on. The devil that gets you when you young. That gives you a gift. That God to give you a gift when you young. And I'm talking about super talented. Real good talent. Like, I could rap. I could talk about 10 things at one time in my rap. And one freestyle. I'm real cold. And they'll take a talent like that and will ruin your entire everything. And then at the end of your journey with that devil, you will go in innocent. That devil takes innocent people. You will go in innocent. And by the time you leave, you working with people like, and I ain't saying this would be me, but this is like Michael. I'm talking about people with Epstein and things like that. Like, you actually recruiting people. You bringing people in. You getting them to sell their soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sacrificing people. Man, I can't even, if I talk about it, it won't sound real, bro. God confirmed for me, because I kept defending Michael Jackson. I've been studying it for a minute. God confirmed that he was absolutely evil. And he absolutely was a pedophile. And those sedatives that he died when he was taken, Michael Jackson did not take sedatives. You know what I'm saying? That he died with that in his autopsy to make it seem as if, to cover up the fact that he had a pedophilia ring. Hello. Hey, the whole time, Michael Jackson was not taking sedatives. He was using those. He would get the medicine from his doctor, and he would get the kids to go to sleep with the sedatives, and then they would rape the kids while they were asleep. He was not taking sleeping pills. Michael Jackson was very awake and aware and cognizant and mindful and alert. He was running a pedophilia ring, and they would put the kids to sleep, and they would be paying the parents settlements. Those parents were sacrificing their kids to be child prostitutes in the industry, and would get paid $10 to $50 million for their children to get raped by elites. That is what was going on. Michael Jackson was not innocent. And when they talk about eating babies, that's real. He was also involved in things like that. Cannibalism. And that sounds weird. How do you know that stuff? It's right in front of our faces. We just don't see it. Look at this man's house. Look at his face. Look at his demeanor. Look at everything about him. Michael Jackson was very much a part of the problem, and this man was the devil. And it's just unfortunate because he was innocent, and that's how the devil gets you. It don't matter if you start off innocent. Yeah, they all see baby Michael. That person is gone. That's his soul right there. His soul is gone. He been departed from his soul. They used it. They was a predator. They seemed like they was his friend. That's why he got the song "Being," about him having an imaginary friend that was a rat. What was it? What it really was that it was somebody that had him talking to himself. See, he talked to himself and came in and said, "Hey, this, that, and third, I'm your friend." And there was an adult that came in as his friend and started to groom him. He was groomed in the industry. His dad allowed him to be groomed in the industry. And maybe when he seen a rich white man that wanted to do something to Michael, he would turn a blind eye. It's like somebody who walks into a bedroom and drops a toy and then shuts the door. And when you drop the toy, the monster comes out. You understand what I'm talking about here? And this is all relevant because y'all don't even understand what time it is. What did I say? Spiritually, God is calling people back. Spiritually, Once you decide to go back to God, every plan the devil had is gone. So what's going to happen is, and this is why I'm so happy, I'm so excited, I'm so happy and excited about my life right now, because I've been fighting my whole life, bro. Like, I'm talking about, I've been fighting my whole life. I've been fighting white kids. I've been fighting black kids. I've been fighting grown men, grown women, family members, strangers. I've been fighting my whole life. I've been fighting teachers, cussing my teachers out, fighting jobs, going off on these managers, trashing their place. My whole life, I've been fighting people I've been in a relationship with, women, this, that, and the third. And now God is like, I don't have to fight no more. And because you think you gotta fight your whole life, you don't. That's what they teach black people, because they want to beat you down. Now it's to the point, all these people had things set up for me. Think of the mummy. It's a whole group of people behind one person. That's why I spoke on my mom. I'm going to call this prevention versus protection part 2. Now, that's prevention right there that I just spoke about, was the previous audio tape. This right here is called protection. Okay? So that's prevention. This is protection. So with protection, like, God, and because I'm now dwelling within the secret place, mind you, if you read your Bible every day, you will remain in the secret place for your entire life. That's it. You see what I'm saying? You have to read your Bible your entire life every day. It's your daily bread. And it does not mean reading the entire Bible all the way through. That is not a secret. That is not the secret. So these rich people come in and they read and they say, I've read the Bible. Yeah, I've read that book. It's a really good book. The Bible is not a good book. The Bible is not a good book. It is not a book. It's a place. Just like hell is a person. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand what's going on. People don't understand what's going on out here. It's beyond your understanding. God said, lean not on your understanding. It's so beyond your understanding. It makes no sense at all. It wouldn't even make sense if you was to see it. If y'all was to see that animal creature that I seen out the window when God told me that they are worshiping animals when I was at Grandma Karen's house, y'all would look at me and say, what? And what made me think of that is they said, it's like somebody that got on like a hairdressing or something. Or it was a specific word for it. I don't know what that word is right now, but it's a specific word for a pig intestine hair wrap on your head. And it brings it back. I'm talking about back. As far as ancestors or whatever. They don't even know what they praying to. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea. So, because they don't even know how many years back they talking. And I'm talking, if you go like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even know the language of it's like of the dialect that was spoken so long ago. It's just translated. These are ancient dialects that evolve over time. So even if we talk about science and evolution, I mean, of course evolution, but it's not in a sense of evolution created society. It's backwards. It's in the sense of evolution made it to where y'all can never be God. Like, you know what I'm saying? You will never have one pristine species of man. It will never be that. It will always evolve in such a way that, is only equipped for that point in time as time begins to evolve and shift. And dang, it was something else I wanted to say, but and then you gotta think too, when you start looking at animals, and then the animals that y'all think is the animals of these demons are not even the right animals. The animals of these demons are some animals y'all never seen before. Like a Tasmanian devil is a marsupial dog, which means it is a dog that has a pouch. You understand me? A dog that has a pouch. A dog that has a pouch and has babies, like, it has babies the size of a jelly bean. It is a dog that has babies the size of a jelly bean. The jelly bean crawls into the pouch and then grows for some months and is now another dog. That is something that people have not seen. So we thinking that you see what I'm saying? and people thinking about that, and you know what I'm saying. People thinking how they want to think and feel how they want to think. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm not gonna feel afraid, because what can stop me? You know, they can't do nothing with me. They can't do nothing about it. You know, God can have somebody could call the police on you and call 50 SWAT trucks to you, and they get the wrong house, and you see them, and you sitting in your porch, and God say, look down the street, that's what the devil had planned, and you see they at the wrong house with all the SWATs. They don't even know where you at, because it's the secret place. So because there's people in the demonic realm that will, and Haitian and voodoo and stuff, that'll get a Bible, and they'll say, okay, so these are the scriptures that they're gonna read, right? So when they read these scriptures, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the words, I'm gonna cut them up or do whatever, I'm gonna rip out a page, do whatever they're gonna do, right? Like they'll do things like erase words in the Bible and put new words in. So it's a curse instead of a blessing. Just complete blasphemy. Complete blasphemy. Like their souls are gone. And they'll make it to where if you read the Bible, they'll see what type of Bible does she have. What Bible is she reading? Okay, she's reading this type of Bible. Okay, we're going to go in here and replace this scripture. So when she runs to the Bible, we're going to look in her eyes. We're going to send her energy. We're going to switch the Bible. And God is telling me this spiritually. I never did this in my life. But it's like one of those things to where, like a detective, when you find a serial killer or something, and to think like a criminal, to catch a criminal, you got to think like a criminal, and you have to follow that pathology of what a criminal would do. And that's what I'm basically doing, is following the pathology of what somebody would do in that realm, somebody who is not, you know, in the will of God, and not knowing what God really is, you know. And the thing is, what the devil does, God does as well. So you'll look at things and be like, oh my God, synchronicities and spiritual signs and things are magic and things like that. But like God is literally just showing you, like, this is the spiritual realm, this is what's going on. Look with your eyes and see. Look with your eyes. Only with your eyes shall you see the reward of the wicked. And God told me that it's called the reward of the wicked because they see it as a prize. So, being inducted into, like selling your soul, losing your soul to the devil is the reward of the wicked, because they think that it's a prize for them to be rewarded for something that is literally, that you can't get back, to pretty much being damned into hell or being damned. They think that that's a prize. Things like cars and things like that are the reward of the wicked, because now you are wasting money, you have extra bills, you have extra attention. Don't get me wrong, I want a nice car, we'll see, but I said Porsches and pendants the reward of the wicked, because Drake said whips and chains like a dominatrix. Porsches, whips, chains, pendants, because that was a good bar. But you gotta see what I'm saying. It's the reward of the wicked, precisely. And that's just what it is. There's some people that think being high is a reward. I used to think that. I used to think when I was on Molly that I got something that they could never have, and that's just not it. And it takes somebody to have to keep talking because you could save a life. I tell you this right now, within the past week, I saved somebody's life. God is not telling me whose life I saved, but I genuinely saved a life. You see what I'm saying? A whole life. When God had me running around the city and playing gospel music and crying and things like that, somebody's life was saved. And praying and speaking in tongues, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the purpose was, but God had me do it. What the enemy means for bad, God means for good. You know what I'm saying? We don't fear that, you know? And you just toss it off of you. God showed me that somebody was doing voodoo, because I'll go in the kitchen, it'll be red and blue cups stacked on top of each other, and it'll be a whole bunch of red Kool-Aid in it. And I dump out the Kool-Aid, it's the color of blood, and it's the color of Haiti on there. I said, oh, okay. And that's when God let me know, hey, you got some spiritual attacks, you need to get into the room. Because they trying to throw stuff your way. And that's just seriously, you know what I'm saying? We don't fear that. And they'll do things like try to use technology and things like that. I mean, sure, great. But when you try to send that blitz, you go send it to the wrong house, because that's what I was saying. They'll go in and try to find scriptures and then try to do this and that. But what they don't realize is that when you're in the secret place of the Most High, God is not you. It's parables. It's parables because of the devil. It is parables because they could read the same scripture and not even understand what God is telling it to you as. The same way that a demon, could read about the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence and not know what the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence is. And they could not know that God has told me that the noisome pestilence is mental illness. So God is freeing me from mental illness while they are trying to stop me from what else is in the or the arrows that fly by night. They might try to block the protection of God from the arrows that fly by night, when God is healing me from mental illness that will cause me to walk into the arrows. You see what I'm saying? So they way far off. And that's why it's in parables. That's why every person has to interpret the Bible for themselves, because we all have a different journey. My battle a lot is with mental illness, drugs, perversion, homosexuality. That's why God has been talking to me about the adulterous woman and the woman whose words drip honey, and who will keep, and you will be caught in her pit. And God says, let them fall into a pit and let no one help them. So that's what my journey consists of a lot. And some people might have to look at things like battling with men and things, and battling with money and greed. But mine is different. So then when I think turning back, I'm going day by day. I can't see turning back as an option. It's just standing into your power is a little bit scary for real. But you can't see, you know what I'm saying, everything that's going on like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, and then the devil will try to echo and speak. That voice is gonna be gone. That demonic voice that has been telling me, if you do this, the same demonic voice that tells people with OCD, if you don't brush your hair to the side 3 times, you're gonna die. That's the type of voice that the devil has been trying to give me. And I think that's one of the voices that got Michael. The one that, the perfectionist. That's a demon. Perfectionism is a demon. Perfect does not exist. Everything is perfect. Trying to be perfect is pointless. It is already perfect. Everything is already perfect. Nothing needs to change whatsoever. It is not that you need to change. It is that you need to continue your journey with God and continue getting your daily bread, because everything that you see is imperfect is only because you have not gained sovereignty yet. And the world is telling you that you need to dress up like these people who are not sovereign. They're asking for your ID and saying, oh, you need a better ID picture. But when you sovereign in the spiritual realm, none of that applies. You do, so once you gain your sovereignty, and you don't have to try to seek this fake perfectionism. All of this stuff is already perfected. And that's the thing. What I'm focused on right now is some curses on this bloodline. And it's not just from one person. It's from multiple people. You know what I'm saying? It's curses on our bloodline. And I'm breaking these curses off of the bloodline. And it starts right here. Just like with Grandma Betty. She is the head of her family, the matriarch. Without Grandma Betty, if Grandma Betty wasn't rooted in God, do you know what our family could look like? I've seen it. There's a difference between my dad's side and my mom's side. You understand what I'm saying? My dad's side of the family is full of drugs, illnesses, murder, poverty, things like that. But when you get around them, they're not talking about God. They are lukewarm, and it's not even lukewarm. They low-key cold. When they speak about God, it's like they say, like my grandma would say, we got to go to church. We got to go to church. If you stay in my house, you're going to go to church. It's not Christian. It's a religious spirit to where you religiously must go to church, but they do not read their Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But they got God in them. I believe God helped her get to where she is on sobriety. But when you have somebody like Grandma Betty that's a devout Christian, that means that our family has things like abundance. We have family that's sick that becomes better. Like, so health. A lot of people that are doing good things, intelligence, wealth, good looks. That comes from a matriarch that's rooted in God. You know, looks are also a gift from God. You know, that comes from, you know, blessings and things like that. So it you know what I'm saying? You gotta know your place, and that's what made me. I had to look at it logically. I say, if the devil said I'm gonna be a millionaire and be talking to celebrities, God said, do not desire to sit with evil men. So these celebrities are evil, and I'm like, I don't want to be in the industry, but I'll be friends with them. You don't want to be friends with them. They're evil. They sold. They will sacrifice you. The only time celebrities like you, like rappers and industry people, is if you are their puppet, is if you try to do everything like them, as if you have no morals, if you sleep your way through the industry, if you sell drugs. That's the only, or if you kill people. Like, that's the only time the industry like you. They don't like you when you are modest, have respect for yourself and others. They don't like that when you the real deal. They think the real deal is the nigga who walks up and shoots somebody in public. That's not the real deal. That's somebody who has no self-control. Somebody who feels like they have to murder all their ops. Somebody who really trusts and has faith, they hate those. They don't like the real deal. The girl who don't have to suck dick to get somebody to like her. That's the one they hate. They hate me. I say, why do all these girls not like me? And they be disguised as girlfriends. It's because I don't have to have sex for a man to respect me. And they can't stand it about me. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that they any less value. Well, yeah, I mean value, sure, but it's that they will, the same girls that try to expose me on the internet are the same girls that are known for smelling like fish, having BV, having and spreading STDs, being at a party in the back of the room, sucking dick, throwing up on somebody's private, like, having sex with multiple men, getting trains ran on them, you know what I'm saying, like, having sex for weed. Like, these are the types of women that get on the internet and say I'm nothing because I was stupid enough to try to put them on a pedestal and say this woman is beautiful. That's why I can't be gay. I can't possibly be gay because I'm too valuable. You know, it's not. I can't do it because they all gonna look at me a certain type of way and be like, you think you're better than me, because they want to devalue you, because they feel like it has to be a better woman. Me, I don't care either way, but you know what I'm saying? Because they, you know, the same women that say that they gay. Oh, the girl from Atlanta who says she's the biggest lesbian in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? She literally just, some dude just exposed her messages. She is talking to one of the ugliest niggas I have ever seen. And I don't want to be gossiping, so let me change this and reroute this conversation. Because this is supposed to, and I have to progress in my journey to where I'm not talking bad about people when I'm talking about things, or I'm using more loose, you know what I'm saying, references. But yeah, she definitely likes men. I knew she did. Anybody who shows they any form of nudity in public, you like men. You just want a man that's gonna, like, she has a rape fetish. So, and those are dangerous. Any girl with a rape fetish is going to get you put in jail. You will go to jail. There's nothing cute or glamorized about rape. These women are very, 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 very delusional and far gone, and the system is failing them. And the system failed me as well. And when you say that, that's very disrespectful to say. The newsflash though, the system failed all of us, because it's not, the system is designed to fail everybody, because it's the devil. God is, once you gain sovereignty, you are good. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Grandma Betty has sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how that works. My mom, believe it or not, has sovereignty. You know? But, you know, and I don't want to just be calling out names and things, but, like, that's pretty much what it is. She just got to get herself together, though. Because it's dangerous for a sovereign citizen to go out into this world and try to disguise themselves as a regular civilian. You're not a civilian. You're a sovereign citizen. So if you go out here and be around these non-sovereigns, they're gonna say, "Who do you think you are?" When I go to the club, I have to buy a bottle of Don Julio, or nobody's gonna like me. But as a sovereign citizen who's not even supposed to be at the club, let me tell y'all what sovereignty is, right? I am not even supposed to be there. I don't go to those things. So when I go to a concert like Cardi B, I go to the VIP. I go straight to the VIP. I don't have to talk to a dude to try to get this, or I don't have to do all this stuff to go. You know what I'm saying? God wanted me to go there because God wanted to show me something, because it was an upside down star in the room. God wanted to show me Cardi B up front because God wanted to show me the presence of the devil at the concert. Okay, God wanted to show me the types of women, the temptation that's out here in the city if I keep doing what I'm doing and I get rich in the city. God wanted to show me that there are other women other than that girl in Atlanta, and you would think you're going to end up with the girl in Atlanta and end up with some hoe in Cincinnati. That smell good. Is what God be telling me. I'm a sovereign citizen. I go straight to the back. I go straight to the back. I don't have to do everything. When I go to the club, I went to the hookah lounge, I don't have to pay to get in. They say, you're good. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how it works. Like, and that's the thing. So you have these different women who got to do all these things to try to go. When I go on vacation, I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't pay to go on vacation. You understand me? I can't name, I don't even know the last vacation I paid. You feel me? I don't pay to do things. I don't have to do things. Not saying that I won't ever in my life, because I will. But I'm saying, majority of the time when things happen to me, it's because I'm a sovereign citizen and I go straight to the VIP. I don't have to buy a bottle in a club to get people to look at me or this and that. When I go to the club, I'm with the most popular person there. The most popular person there comes straight to me. I'm a sovereign citizen. And people who are civilians are going to look at you and say, hey, how did you get that? So this is what I said to the girl. This is the last thing I said to her. This is the last thing I said to her. Because she put on an Ohio State shirt and put up the one eye, like trying to talk over my head on some, because her friend is like a celebrity, but like a mid-tier celebrity or whatever. Or the girl she talked to, I don't care. It's none of my business. But you talking to her, trying to talk over my head, y'all send each other's messages through the chat. So I just say to myself, I look at it, I say, okay, you trying to flag me, you trying to let people know where I'm at, things that third, connect yourself to my brand, it ain't happening. I'm going to let her think she doing her thing. We're going to keep we're going to let it sit, let it simmer. But the way I look at it is, oh crap, I got to go to the bathroom. Cramps. But so she throw up the eye or whatever. I forgot. Oh yeah, so I messaged her because this is what God told me. God took me to the furniture store the day before. I went to 2 different stores. I went to the Nepali store. I went to the furniture store. At the Nepali store, can you imagine going to a country and eating all the food and realizing that none of the food is really food, it's just for ritual purposes?
The store? Yeah, you will not see what direction I'm into.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine going somewhere and seeing that all of the food is not what you think? It's just for ritual purposes. And when you go to places like this, ain't no secret. This ain't no secret, y'all. This is common sense.
Basketball.
It's literally common sense, because I go to the Indian store, right? I go to the Indian store, okay? Let me see if I'm still recording. All right, I go to the Indian store and I look at all the food, right? And I'm reading the food and it's all saying for ritual purposes only. All of the food is for the altar. So when you go places like India, don't eat the food. Don't eat the food, because a lot of that food is being sacrificed to their deities, and they're feeding people that. Hello, all that food that you think is food at them Indian, that ain't food. It's sacrificial. You see how the devil's voice is getting quieter. We don't fear the devil. The devil's voice is getting quieter. We don't fear the devil. You know what I'm saying? And then we get into that too. Yeah, all that food was for ritual purposes. All that food at that Indian store was for rituals. And then when I start trying to walk to the back, dude did this. They said, don't go to the back. Don't go in the back. See, you got two different stores. That's why I say India is at a whole different level. India is at a whole different level. You understand? When it comes to bloodline, they have a caste system. Like how America tries to do and how black Americans are the lowest. India, if you born from a certain bloodline, you clean sewers. If you other bloodline, like there are people in India that are born that say you are God, and come on, it's a whole different. It ain't even the same thing. And if you're not Indian, you can't play like you in like Haitian. You can get away with it. You could be African, things like that. Maybe you know what I'm saying. But they all go off a dialect. Now India. Now, if you take all of that stuff that I said as far as like Panamania, the witchcraft, things like that, underworld, underbelly. If you take Midtown, underworld, underbelly, or underbelly, underworld, and hell, and put it all into one, it would be India. There are so many layers to India that people don't know about, that people never see. And I'm talking about all rituals. I'm talking about things you wouldn't even think about. I'm talking about, and this is what God was showing me about what's in the back. I'm talking about things to where you will see it, and if you walk in that back door, you gonna see a whole bunch of animals and humans look at you and run and scramble around with a whole bunch of blood around and a whole bunch of naked little kids. Do y'all understand kind of what's going on here? This spiritual realm get deep, and you got to know what you're dealing with when you're really powerful. Because if the devil said multimillionaire, God said that. God, listen, when the devil says millions, God says millions. You understand? And I'm talking about of people saved, of souls. So when the devil says millions, God says millions. So that means you need protection, because there are millions of people who literally believe that they are God and have sold their soul and are blasphemous. And literally, I'm talking in India, there is bestiality. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know how the gods are mixed with animals? Yes, they have bestiality in India. A lot of bestiality. I'm not going to say major bestiality in India. There is a lot of pedophilia, young children marrying grown adults. You know what I'm saying? Incest, things like that. There's a lot of things going on. Child sacrifice, human sacrifice, cannibalism. You know what I'm saying? Giving people food. All that street food that people are eating is do not eat that. I would never, nothing in my soul says, hey, let me go to India. What in the world what in the world makes a person human think? Man, we probably don't even know what Indian food is. We probably think we know what Indian food is and probably never seen it in our life. Who knows? I'm not going there. Now, American food, you don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stick to my fruits and berries. Or whatever. Or, whatever, my preservatives. I mean, what's worse? But if you go there, you know what I'm saying? That's why God said you don't take an oath of secrecy. Because the devil will use that trick and say, if you tell anybody this, I'm going to kill you. You don't talk about these secrets. This is religious secrets. That's why I didn't see it with my mom, right? Because I'm like, why are you talking about the government? That's dangerous. But you have to. So she's not, you know what I'm saying? I said it's dangerous. I didn't understand sovereignty at first. Nobody could touch you when you in your secret place. And that's what I didn't understand when my mom exposing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I get it now. That's why I say, there's always this thing about my mom that I can't say nothing really to, because I do understand God says, touch not mine anointed. I don't try to talk bad about anybody, even with Josh, because he gave his life to Christ. You can't downplay somebody who chose to do the right thing when he could still be selling drugs. I believe he could, but it's just the point of, I'm just looking out I just want to see people's blind spots, but, God does that too. But it's just with my mental health, but then I got to realize the devil was really had an assignment on me. The devil had me so bad, I probably would have ended up eating Indian street food. That's how deep I was with the devil, man. Voluntarily paying for Indian street food. Who does that? What in your mind says, let me go to India out of all places? And you know they putting their feet in the food. And I think that they put their feet in it and they don't clean their hands and they make it real dirty as a way to disrespect you and to let you know that they do not care and that it is not food that they are making. Because why would they make food like that? It's because it's not food. And they pray, and I think they pray over the food they give to the altar, and they say, okay, we need a human to eat this so that this deity can take over this body of this civilian who's walking around eating this food. You know what I'm saying? And they get paid for it. And that's why their city is ravished. It's ravishing poverty. It's crazy poverty. The most wicked places, the most... y'all say this, that, and the third. The places that do the most deepest, darkest voodoo and sin and all of this stuff are the poorest places in the world. It's the third world countries. And it's a never-ending cycle. It is insanity. Insanity is when you do the same thing over and over. Lunacy is when it's like schizophrenia. You hear multiple people. You have multiple personalities. That's lunacy. And then mania is when you have so much energy and you jumping all around. Now, God is telling me other things too. Could you imagine? I think what happens when you do things like smoke crack is that all your receptors get sparked up at once, so you experience all mental illnesses at one time, and then it tops off with the cherry on top, which is depression. So I think that all mental illnesses get activated at one time, because I believe what happens is you activate more of the percentage of your brain, and it causes all your mental illnesses to happen. Like, that's why I say God showed me a ceiling fan where you turn on the light and all the lights turn off at once. And it says if your regular lights are like kind of like just dimmer lights, and then they turn on the lights and it's like all of a sudden you got daylight lights, which are like the brightest light you could possibly have. So like not only are all your lights on, but it's lights you didn't even know you had, and it's the brightest lights ever, and the ceiling fan is on at the same time, and you have your favorite song in the whole world playing in the background. And I think that's what is really going on, is a combination of lunacy, mania, and insanity is what happens with this drug. Oh man, that's a lot to unpack right there. Because if you want to start getting into like helping people, you got to realize homelessness, a lot of it is drugs. They don't want you to fix that. But you know, if I'm with God, then I'm with God. And this is what we're doing. We stand at 10 toes. God said nobody's going to touch me. God said he don't care what anybody whispers to me or threatens me. He said, I don't care if the threat is right next to you and they saying it right in your ear. You better keep walking and you keep going straight. And he don't care what it is. He said, I don't care if the police pull up right next to you. They not going to pull you over. They're going to pull up right in front of you and get the car in front of you. I don't care what's going on. God said, I don't care if you in the middle of the street. Nobody is going to hit you. You know, if you don't have no phone, no car, no nothing, you going to make it back home. And that's just what that is. So yeah, I'm really excited, really happy, because now everything that the enemy had planned is backfiring, and that's the thing. So, and that's the last thing I want to say. I think I might have said this before, but I want to describe what I said about the RICO, because this is a very important time, and it's something else I want to talk about. Let's just say this. Let me just put it like this. There's some people that did some very bad things a long time ago and thought that they got away with it. And God said no, they didn't get away with it, and they not getting away with it. And yeah. And there are people who care, who look into that, and it's some people who did some things, and let's just say never forget, okay? And they out here smiling, and God is watching them, and we do not delight in suffering. And that is what God says. We do not. It's some people that's delighting in suffering, and they think that we forgot about it, and we didn't forget about it. And Yeah, we get in the hole or everything. Let's just put it like that. And I'm not even. Let's just put it like that. They delight in their suffering, and it's not going down like that, man. We watching them. We've been monitoring them. You know what I'm saying? They like, oh, they think they got away with it, right? Nah, they didn't get away with that. I won't let that happen. And I'll put it like this: I'm usually all my price points hit. All my price points hit. I have a very good discernment and discretion in the spiritual realm. All my price points hit. And stocks, all my price points hit. When I say it's gonna hit, it hit. So when I see something and I say, I study the situation, God will call me to study. I say, I look at all the facts. I looked over all the facts. I say, okay, this, that, and the third, are they guilty or innocent? I should be a judge in court. I say, are they guilty or are they innocent? And now I smell that smell again. I smell that smell again. You know what that smell is? Somebody doing a sexual. Hey, man, I'm so in tune with this. I kept saying, I smell female pheromones. And at first you start to like this. You know how many rituals these people do? I ain't never messed with. The last girl I talked to, I put it like this. The last girl I talked to was a bruja, right? The last girl I talked to was a bruja. The one before that did Santeria. So, and then the one before that was a witch. So I went from a witch, and I ain't mean to do it. And the one before that was spiritual. I ain't mean to do that. I didn't know that they was demonic until after. So the first one, she was just a little witch. She would just do like little spells and stuff, kitchen spells. The second one, we was friends for a while, was doing Santeria. So, you know what I'm saying? The whole pray to the deity, whatever, do whatever, rituals, yada, 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 sacrifices. Did Santeria. Then you go to the other one, she was a bruja. So she was, so one of them, she was black and West Indian. The other one was Cuban and black. The other one was Puerto Rican and black. This one is Haitian and Panamanian. That's when it gets to a point and I start realizing, okay, and then I talk about my mom, how stupid could I be? And I really looked at myself. I said, what's the worst person in the universe that I could talk to? Is a Haitian Panamanian from Atlanta that is a lesbian. That is the stupidest and most dumbest thing I could possibly ever do in my entire life. And that's why I have to ask God for forgiveness. You just don't get no dumber than that. And then you wonder why your life is weird because they're doing voodoo. And it's like, what do you think? Yeah, they doing voodoo, and it's not just voodoo. They mix it with Santeria as well. So they mix the voodoo with the, you know what I'm saying? You say, no, she wasn't mixing it. She was just doing the voodoo. But, you know what I'm saying? You think, how stupid can you be? And we don't fear that, because the moment that I stop ignoring, because here's the thing, the devil wants you to be scared. And they say, run, you need to run. Because if they don't get you to get scared and run and do what you need to do, if they can't lure you in with the bait, knowing that you care about them, then they're going to get in trouble by the deities, and they're going to get punished. No, you're going to take that L. Because I got other things I got to worry about. Because now that God got my attention, I see some people trying to get away with some things. Some bad things. And we're not letting that happen. Now, I like to watch. I be watching people. I watch over people. I ain't saying it's my fault. Not my fault. I pray. I go hard for praying. I told y'all about my brother, my stepsister. You feel me? People who have gone through things, I pray for them and it works. My prayers work. My price points hit. Now I can see when something is wrong. Now we got this situation now. I can already feel it. It's so deep. I say, hey, all right, I ain't gonna touch it. I looked over all the facts. I ain't even have to look through the whole thing. I say, no, it's a cold case. It's a cold case right here. It's a cold case. Ain't no getting out of that one. But it's a few other people that I think have been hiding for a while. Now the devil, I just seen the devil that was hiding. It's been disguising. That's the point where we at right now. Because God, you know how they say it's end times? Well, the devil just got exposed. Now y'all can see, oh, this is clearly the devil. Epstein Island, all of this stuff that's going on, the devil just is getting exposed right now. And for those who could really see, it's time to go to God. And don't be afraid of the devil. Because it's a lot of people that will repent evil. It's a lot of rewards that's about to be given to the wicked. And God needs you to get out there, get out of it, because you might end up with somebody else's reward that was not for you. You might end up with that gift, and you don't need that gift. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Or we speaking in code? You don't want to get the gift. You understand what I'm saying? My ex, you look at his pictures, it's a whole bunch of gifts. He think that he, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I don't know what he got going on. My ex is a reward. See, he went and followed my page. Had I not been connected to God, I would have linked up with him. He don't care if I'm a stud, if I'm fat, skinny, whatever. And he don't care what I look like. But my ex is a reward of the wicked. And everybody else will be like, oh, he got green eyes, he tall, this, that, and the third. Even got a little cute little, you'll think he's the nice one. That's the reward of the wicked. I know what he about. I was going to end up with somebody else's prize. Somebody who don't do the right thing. That's crazy, like. So it's a lot of awards about to be given out. Like that bad man that I'm talking to right now, he just got rewarded with something, but he don't even realize he just got the reward of the wicked. You understand what I'm saying? He think he just won a prize. He's smiling, happy, look like a kid out the candy store. Joyful, everything, laughing. He think he just got a reward. Yeah, you just got the reward of the wicked, buddy. Same dude. I seen this one disabled. We don't delight in suffering. We don't delight in suffering, though. We don't delight in suffering. Now when I see people get their reward, I get sad, and then I pray for them, and I say, okay, God, this is what you meant for them. Now I pray that you put on their heart to do right, because it was a dude that was doing something bad, and I was praying for this boy, and he was hurt. He was doing stuff to them, bullying him, and then he came out, and let's just say he got the gift, and it turns out he had the gift. And that's because he kept messing with this boy, and the boy wasn't innocent. But you don't make fun of people who got disability. Like, you don't hurt people who can't protect themselves. You don't do stuff to the innocent. That is unacceptable. And when you delight in doing stuff to innocent people, oh, everybody goes down. I'm talking everybody going down. Unacceptable. Now, the devil has been hiding for so long that I think a lot of people didn't realize it was the devil himself. A lot of people, that's why I say the system failed a lot of people, because it was meant to fail them. But nah. None of that. And when I say, every time when I look at somebody, I could say, I got good discernment. I say, they did something right, or they did something wrong, or something is off about them. I don't know. Something might be a little bit off. But when it's just pure evil, I know pure evil. You know what I'm saying? God handles that. And that's why God has to be a vengeful God. Because it's, in a way, you got to think of it as a protective father. That when somebody bullies their child, they go and teach the bullies a lesson so that they don't come back and bully them anymore. But it's from a place of discipline. So God is about to discipline some people who think that they could prey on the innocent. Because, hey, with this girl, I'm thinking we friends the whole time. I'm sending her money. We acting cool, this, that, and the third, You would have never thought it was beef. Then all of a sudden she gets on there and her girl is threatening me. I say, whoa, hey, that's my friend. I don't even know what you're talking about. We've been doing this for a while. We've been talking for like a year, bro. Like, this is my friend. Whole time she telling her, yeah, this girl is weird. She's doing this, she's doing that. You know what I'm saying? She's stalking me. She's trying to hurt me, this, that, and the third. I said, girl, you was literally on here begging people to send you money for Wingstop. You begging for Wingstop money. I got a job. I got extra money. I eat for free. I get food from work. I got a clothing brand. You helping with my brand. Don't you work with brands? Ain't you a model? Ain't you a brand ambassador? Ain't you from Atlanta? You talking about I'm stalking you. Wasn't nobody stalking you. I got 20 followers. You didn't follow me from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok, back to YouTube, back to Instagram, then TikTok. You watching my whole family. How you talking crap about my mom, and my mom don't even follow me on social media? That mean in order for you to see my mom's TikTok or whatever, my mom's YouTube, it ain't even her TikTok. You watching my mom's YouTube. That mean that you had to go on my page. Then you had to go on my brother's page. Then you went through everybody that my brother follow. Then you went and found my mom on there. And then in order for you to find my mom, you would have had to go through her pictures and see my brother in her pictures. Then you went from her TikTok to her Instagram and start watching all her videos consistently. And you talk about I'm stalking you. I don't even know your last name. I don't even know where you're from. And that's what the devil does. It preys on the innocent. You go into a situation completely innocent. And that's why Michael is a sad story. It's really sad. But that grown man was not innocent because God gives everybody opportunities to come back to him. But the devil will blind you so much. And that's why you need to be rooted in Christ. And that's why I'm out. I'm out the game. I'm about to have a kid. I'm about to get married and do all that. God told me I'm about to have a child. I need to prepare my body to have a child. No more smoking. No more none of that. I gotta have a healthy child because my child is gonna be holy, and that's where I'm at in life. I'm out the game because that's what everybody wants is love and family, right? We winning already. We got that in the house of God. You got that. You understand? So I'm totally out of it. I can't do it. You know, and I have my womb is blessed because I come from the sacred bloodline. So if I have a baby out of sin through that way, then I'm going to literally curse my womb. Like, or curse, the baby will be cursed. It will block what my baby is supposed to do in this world. I cannot do that. Like, I'm literally set up to where it's supposed to be a miracle. It's not supposed to be what the devil wants. The devil is not trying to attack me and kill me. The devil could easily kill me. What the devil wants me to do is have a child so it could take my child and take my generations. You understand? Like, because the devil is pretty. The devil, it will slow burn it and will not have you do things because it wants you to have that child. It wants you to have a demon seed. It wants you to sacrifice your child to him. So that's why the devil gives you so much time and does not just kill you. Because and then, you know, if you have a working womb that is good and that is healthy and fertile, yeah, the devil will give you a little bit extra time. If you are somebody who has maybe if you a man, healthy seed, whatever, the devil will stretch it out because they want you to have demon kids. I keep forgetting what I was about to say, man. And it has something to do with... I keep forgetting what I was about to say with that. Because I went into it, I said it was the girl who was doing the Santeria, and then they all do that, and they all do that. And I keep getting off track. And maybe that's not what I meant to say. But, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, my old friend, the one who was doing the Santeria, she made a rap. She said, if Santa Claus don't act right, I'm going to take his... Oh, so she, you know what I'm saying? So, like, Santa Claus. Okay, I get it. So, she was threatening me on the internet. That's a lot of weak people do witchcraft. A lot of weak ones. I'm talking about, if you see them in public, man, you could just walk right up to them and just knock them out clean. I'm talking about just weak. The ones that talk the most stuff, I'm talking about, you beat them up, they gonna sit there and just cry. They just gonna cry. And that's what they thought of. They think I'm one of the, they had me wrong. They had me at the wrong house, man. I almost said girl. I feel like I'm on the phone. They thought I was they didn't know I was in the house of God. They had me at the wrong house, man. They over here, they freaking, you know what I'm saying? They thought that I was one of them one type of females who was a lame. Because mind you, I'm not, all my social media gone. They don't know nothing I did in the past, nothing. They just now finding out that I know different people. So, they don't know nothing about me. I done deleted all my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Mind you, I done had thousands of followers and friends on all platforms. So they think I'm just some lame duck girl who was fat and who fell off in life and who traded once in my life and was cool and I was attractive, but I fell off. They don't even know what I got going on. They don't even know that I got dudes literally on standby. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking fine. They don't know that I ain't never been really disrespected like that, like in relationships, except for I got cheated on by my one ex who was a female. And if y'all want to talk about reward of the wicked, hello, what y'all want to talk about? Because I gave my ex an $8,000 or 8,000 follower Instagram when her grandma died. Because she was in her apartment rotting away depressed in a depression apartment and I cleaned it for her. You want to talk about exes and things like that, I'm good. And I don't delight in suffering. I don't wish that on nobody. But people want to talk about this and that. The one person who did do that in a relationship, who ever disrespected me in a relationship, I'm saying, So it is what it is with that. But these girls, they see one person, they say, oh, so this is what we do, we allowed to disrespect, like, but like, it's cool. You gotta have discernment and say, okay, some people be joking and some people not be joking. And that's why I'm so kind of like, I'm so lighthearted. I'll look at people and think everybody joking. Like, I'm looking at these strange, like, these, and then the Bible says strange women, these strangers, these girls that make jokes and say, oh, I'll beat you up on the internet in front of all these people. Whole time I'm thinking they joking. Man, I'm over here laughing, dancing, all type of stuff. They really serious. They really saying they gonna beat me up. I'm like, you ain't never had a fight in your life. How you gonna beat me up? But they don't know they never had a fight, because I went to school with them when they was younger. And what really happened was, I used to be telling my friends and stuff, hey, such and such want to hang out. And my friends, who was actually cool, would say, we don't hang out with her because she weird. And I would be the one to bring them along and say, nah, let her hang out. She cool. And then they say they're going to beat me up. I'm the one that used to bring them around. You understand what I'm saying? It was never the other way around. I used to be the one throwing the parties, and she used to come to my parties and bring her cousin, and that would be the time that they get to go out and party. They wasn't going to the college parties and doing the stuff. They wasn't drinking. She would get drunk and then end up blacked out, throwing up in somebody's back room after they, saying she was flexing. Like her, I'm gonna put it like this. Some of the best, like the dudes she was flexing about messing with was the exes that I dubbed. That me and my cousins would laugh about and say, we don't mess with those, he'll mess with everybody. She would lie to her mom and say she's spending the night at my house so that she could go have sex. You understand? Because she couldn't go outside. She wasn't allowed to go outside when she was a teenager. She had to stay in the house. She had curfew when she was a teenager. So when I was out having parties and throwing parties, she was in the house by 10 p.m. So you get on the internet and you act like you've been doing this. You want to act all vivacious and things and voluptuous on the internet, girl. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how that is. You know, I ain't really too much tripping about it. It's all fine. It's all dandy. It's good. You know. God just told me something. I'm about to hop off the thing. God is showing me things right now, but He's just letting me know there's about to be, and it'd be sad. It'd be sad. It really do. You get what I'm saying? It do be sad. But these people, when you're dealing with a Tasmanian devil, they will show up as so many different things. Because the thing about a Tasmanian devil is that they usually speak multiple languages. They usually have, they'll have a whole different life at home as versus a whole different life back home, versus a whole different life at school, versus a whole different life at the club, versus a whole different life at work. These are, come on, you're dealing with some crazy stuff here. But yeah, so that girl that was doing that stuff on the internet, who was acting like something she wasn't, God knows, we all seen it. And now that I stayed silent for years and moved on with my life and kept moving forward, you see who the real one is. She was just acting like she did everything I did and I was supposed to die. I was supposed to lose my mind and end up dead, or really a junkie. And because that didn't happen, they try to make you do like Mississippi Damned, when you end up stood crying outside of some film's house while she kissing some dude. Yeah, that was supposed to be me. But hello, I'm way too live for that. So the only way they could get me is if they act like they my friend and do rituals on me and spells on me and stuff. That's the only way they could take somebody like me out, is if they lie on my name and steal my work. Because they don't do anything but sit in the house and have sex. And they barely could even call it sex. They really just having somebody have sex with them while they just sit there and you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm just being real. You know, they don't do nothing but stalk people and say, oh, she thinks she about to do this and cause trouble and mix and stir the pot. And they skill, and the only thing on their resume is stirring the pot. They should be a chef. You know what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much what it is. But they not even, they too lazy to become a chef, so they just stir the pot. That's all they do. And then they hide behind some man who never really had women in his life, who just now is attractive with money, and that's why he even got with her to begin with, because he don't know that she's a dud, a whole milk dud. Understand? So God seen it, God knows, and we getting justice for all that little bull crap that happened. And everybody, yeah, you know what I'm saying, we've been watching, and she was delighting in suffering, and she thought she got away with it. And she gonna let it be silent. She trying to play the silent game, but she talk too much. How you playing the silent game? You got a big mouth. I said love is war and war is really silence. People think they silent, but the silence really loud. You ain't really silent, so these niggas think you loud. How many people silent in the loudness of the crowd? You know what I'm saying? Type vibe. They the type of people that say, hey, I'm being silent. Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, they be wanting your life, you know? Yeah, man. So we got bigger fish to fry. Because I'm going to talk about it later in life. Like, it took me years, 5 years, to talk about that animal I seen out of my grandma's window. The one with the head wrap on it. So, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to talk about what's going on right now in the spiritual realm, as far as people who think they got away with it. It's going to take some time because it's still fresh. But just know I went over all the facts, and it's a cold case, man. It's a cold case all across the board. They, you know what I'm saying? And they thought they got away with it, and they thought it was funny, and it was malicious and evil, and they tried to hide it. And you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of weird snickering going on. But God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly, and we don't do that. So God said, I need you to double back. I need you to stay out the way. I need you to disappear for a while, because when they start pointing fingers, I need you to not be nowhere in sight, because they're going to be looking for their scapegoat, because they all guilty, and they're going to try to say, oh, it was her. Wait a minute, she's not here. Where's she at? And you're going to be living your life, and you're going to be way better, and that's God's plan. It's to take me out the scenario. I don't even know. God won't tell me where or who or what's going on. He's giving me hints. It's a lot of different places. Because when I said Jesus, I canceled the plans of the enemy. And he had so many plans in so many different rooms. My name was being spoken in so many different rooms I didn't even know. So every room that my name was spoken in that went against the will of God is about to be canceled. So now all that stuff is about to backfire. So it's about to be a whole bunch of people collapsing, because they planned on blaming me for it. I was supposed to be the scapegoat. Now they about to take the fall for their own crime. So that's pretty much what's going on now. And I'm just chilling in the house of the Lord. And my biggest concern right now is that when the devil start tempting and it all start going awry, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Don't make that move. Don't get that mark. You understand? That's pretty much where it's at. Because the devil tried to mark me. And it was unbeknownst to me. I did not know. God said I'm good, though. I did not know. The devil tried. He missed his mark. He missed it so much that he sent SWAT to the house. He tried to send, you know what I'm saying, the SWAT to the house. Not literally. This is spiritual. And he got the wrong house. They thought I was one of those weak girls that talk crap on the internet and then do witchcraft on people at home in the basement. Nah, I never been that type. I'm not indirect. I'm a strategist. It's not that I said looking from a fake page trying to get some fake fame. I'm really a big deal, nigga. I'm a fake lame. Like I'm a fake lame. Like I'm not really a lame. I'm a fake one. So I'm choosing to be. You know what I'm saying? This is my new lifetime. Of okay, in this lifetime, I guess I'm gonna be a nerd. You understand? And that voice that says, you cannot keep talking like that, you cannot keep saying that, is completely disappearing because I realize I can say whatever I want to say. And that's to scare you. And then that voice is going to disappear, and next thing you know, somebody from behind the curtain that was whispering, Kira, no, 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 is about to get arrested. And they're going to pull back the curtain and arrest them. Because why are you whispering lies in my ear? So that's what's going on, and now I'm looking at things a little bit different. You understand? Yeah, it's all gonna work out.